Hi everyone, good night. Today we will discuss about an article called Apple Inc. in 2020. It started with Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple Inc. at the time. After almost 10 years in charge, he finally soon will left his charge. Under Tim Cook, Apple became the first company to become 1 trillion market cap in equity market. So it's the first company to reach that. And you know, talking about Apple, of course, we knew some of their best device like MacBook, iPad, iPhones. Of course, iPhones are the most popular things from Apple. And if you look back to the story of Apple, the history of Apple itself, we will find out that they are not always doing very easy situation. They have through a lot of obstacle, and some of the change of their CEO, like a journey, right? It's not always easy way, but it's up and down, like a literal life, right? So let's talk about the history of Apple. Back in 1976, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, a pair of 20th something from college dropout, they decide to make an workplace, and the first run is in the Steve Jobs garage. So the first thing that they do are build a computer circuit board uh, that they named the Apple I. And within several months, this product are become more popular, and they have like made 200 units, and had taken a new partner with AC. And one of the mission of Steve Jobs was bring an easy to use computer to the market. And the sooner they released the Apple II in April 1978, or so. Like 2 years, they successfully developed another product, right, from the Apple One and then the Apple II. So the main focus of Steve Jobs is make something that really easy to use. And now, in December 1980, so just 4 years after uh, they they found this company, they release. They go into the public like a IPO. The condition of Apple are fully changed after the in 1981 after entered the PC market. So uh, they are really serious rival for the Apple product, right? And after that years from 1981 until 1984, the their market share are plunged very significantly, and it makes Steve Jobs have to left uh, his CEO role, and the one that replaced him was the John Shuley. I hope I right to pronounce it, John Shuley. And John Shuley become the CEO of Apple in 1985 until 1993. So Shuley pushed the Mac into new market, uh, most notably in desktop publishing and education. And after Shuley, the one that have role in the CEO of Apple was Spindler and Amelio. But it only gave them 4 years in that position. After that, Steve Jobs back to his role as a CEO of Apple. Under the new Steve Jobs, Apple slowly make their own ways. So instead of broaden their product lines, Steve Jobs wanna be more focused. So he bring Apple to just focus on a very narrow product lines, instead of they focus on a lot of things. According to Steve Jobs, it will be very hard if they focus to a lot of things, and the main idea, like as I said before, that Steve Jobs want a very simple and a very easy to use product to the people. So if their previous CEO, they like launched the Me Too product to the other, like the other competitors, so they are not have you know sp- spatial condition to the customers. So they are just like another product. But under Steve Jobs, this company, the product become very private, very personal, and they integrated one device to the other device. So it makes Apple like a very unique compared to the other competitors. And they start to uh, develop again to gain their trust again from the people. Start from the MacBook, Macintosh. I mean, yeah, MacBook. And one of the quotes that I really like from Steve Jobs is I don't think I run Rogue's Hood over people, but if something sucks, I tell people to their face. It's a really obvious, remarkable words from the one and only Steve Jobs. And the approach of this new version of Steve Jobs, I mean the second time Steve Jobs took place, yeah, finally get his first real cup. Yeah, the Mac, the iMac, introduced in August 1998. The $1,299 all-in-one computer. So Steve Jobs launched a device, a computer that we can use anything in that computer at the time, of course. And this product are helping Apple to gain their revenue back after years of pain, right? And yeah, Apple are pioneering the first usable personal computing device. It was IBM that brought PCs into the mainstream in the 1980s. So let's move to the next topic. Yeah, moving forward beyond the Mac, their first product. I mean, their first success product. In 2001, Steve Jobs launched a very phenomenal device. They call it iPod. You know, after the debut of this product, the revenue of Apple exploded in that year. Following the new product in 2007, which is uh, iPhone, and in 2010 they launched iPad. So these three product are very revolutionary compared to the other competitors. Like for example, back in 2007 when Steve Jobs launched their first iPhone, the shape and the feature are very different compared to the other. If in that time most of phones have keyboard that you know Apple, I mean the iPhone are not featured keyboard. They have like a touch screen, full touch screen, and they integrated the iPod and the iPhone. So if you have these two devices, you just can connect both of them and use it easily. And one of the unique things about the iPod, uh, you know, at the time you can, if you have iTunes on your computer, you can connect the iPod into the iTunes. But at that time, Steve Jobs and their teams are like having a debate because don't want Steve Jobs only wants that iPod just only use in Mac, but his team wants that every every single computer in this planet, uh, including the operating system like Windows, can use can install iTunes and then can connect the iPad with their computer. And this debate finally over, and Steve Jobs finally uh, agree with that idea that everyone can use the iTunes no matter what type their computer are. So it brings a lot of gain, of course, because people are very love to use iPod and iTunes in their computer. And entering the font war, when the first time Steve Jobs released iPhone in 2007, there are big three that have big market share in phone market: Nokia, Motorola, and Samsung. But with this revolutionary feature in iPhone, uh, iPhone can do a good sales. So not took a long time. Apple can release the next version of iPhone in 2011, if I'm not wrong. And after that, there are still some debating between Steve Jobs and his team. It's about the App Store. Steve Jobs again and again he want to really private. He want to control everything in the product, but he finally lost the debate again. I mean, he finally agreed with the idea of the App Store. And you know what? I think the segmentation of Apple, year after year, they just focus on some part of segment, like they focus on high income people. So if you sell Apple in the emerging market, maybe they still lose compared to the other competitor, like company from China, because they are more cheaper and more friendly to the emerging market, of course. So yeah, I think that's it for today. See you in the next video. Good night.